Hey guys, this is Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist. In this case, reviewing the beauty and beast of a knife, the zero tolerance 0 to 100 military folding knife. Before I get started, I want to thank the guys from Heinne Haynes from Heinne.com. You guys in Europe know very well about this company. Great company, great people. I've been buying so much lately from them that I send them an email asking if they would be interested in working something out. As outstanding as they are in their customer care and such, they said, yeah, sure, let us know whatever it is that you have in mind for reviewing. And I knew exactly what it is that I was going to be asking, which is this beast and beauty of a knife that you see here. Zero tolerance, 0 to 100 military folding knife. What is there not to like about it? Nothing. Let me answer that for you. Nothing. It is excellent in everything, in any single way. I mean, the construction, the design, where it has been made. There's been no holding back on any phase of the construction of this knife. It's been made in USA, as the box here says, American built, so it wasn't made in China, Taiwan, trying to cut out on the cost of craftsmanship. The materials are also excellent. The design, this is a Ken Onion design. Mr. Ken Onion, outstanding knife designer. And, you know, I know the conversation that went down when thinking of making this knife. They said, let's make the best, most solid 4-inch folding knife that we could possibly get. Let's get the best knife designer, make it in the best possible facilities here in USA. Let's make it using the best materials we can find. And that's exactly what these guys did. For a 4-inch blade, you could not have done it better than this. I've loved the recurved blade for some time now, several years. You guys know what I think about the Cold Steel Voyager, which has also a recurved blade. I love recurved blades because they offer some advantages that you will find in something like a karambit knife, which is basically like a claw, which is mostly intended for defensive purposes in combat. But here, with a subtle S-curve, we have some of those advantages in terms of cutting, slashing, and going through material. The advantage and the mechanic, like the karambit, is basically that it forces whatever you're cutting into the blade. Alright, you see that? It would just, as you slash with it, it just forces you into that S curve. If we have a more typical knife edge, it's going to be slashing away from it as you cut. Here, it just pushes it into the edge, so it cuts beautifully and slashes very nice. Now, one of the problems with this type of recurved edge is that it generally hasn't got a great tip, which is something that Ken Onion definitely managed to achieve with this beautiful tip. Very delicate. It's going to be penetrating very well in spite of having that recurved blade. It's going to be penetrating with no resistance whatsoever. Also a good tip for more detailed work, either if it's cutting away splinters or something in your fingers, or more detailed work in terms of bushcrafting. You're capable of doing that with this tip. The material used is it's 154 cm, again, top of the line steel, outstanding steel. It's the same steel that Emerson uses in their knives as well. Thickness is 0.15 of an inch. Very thick blade. Yes, they decided to go all the way, you know. My philosophy, guys, is, and you guys following my videos for some time know this, if you're going to be carrying, actually carry. If you're going to be carrying a knife, go for a good knife, go for the best possible knife. You're going to be carrying a handgun, go for the best possible handgun you can have. Don't go for a mouse gun or a little snubby or something like that. If you're going to be carrying, go all the way. And if you're going to be carrying a knife, if you're going to be carrying a 4-inch knife, get the most solid, best possible 4-inch knife, alright? Which this is an excellent example of. You have a bit of a ramp here with some jimping. I'm not crazy about jimping. I think that just having the ramp would have been enough for certain grips, especially for woodworking and that sort of thing, because for defense and fighting you would have a more solid grip, not something that doesn't wrap completely around it. But if you have to do something like that, you do have the ramp. And the jimping, basically I see it as something I would be using with a fire steel, something like that, so as to strike a fire and start a fire with a little fire steel such as this one. The coating in the blade, this is tungsten DLC coating, which is, as you see, non-reflective and has almost no friction to it, which is beautiful. Some of the textured coatings that you see in some other knives, I'm not much of a fan of. First of all, it is hard to clean, so if you're using this knife for cutting up food, maybe cutting up an apple, and then you have to clean it up, or if you get mud or blood on your blade, having a textured finish makes it harder to clean up. Not the case here. It's also another problem is that if it has a bit more of a textured finish, it does not slide as easily through the material that you're cutting, and that again will not be a problem here. It's almost like feels like a Teflon finish. Very nice. Doesn't reflect, looks beautiful as well. Moving on to the handle, we have I mean, yes, it is perfectly designed. If you don't have a unusually small hand or a huge paw, it's gonna be fitting you like a glove, like it does in my case. Just feels perfect. Has enough of a depression that forms a nice finger guard over here, so it doesn't slide forward, same backwards. Because of this elevation, just has better control in both directions. The handles are 3D machined G10. G10, excellent material for a knife as well. Same material used as Bussy knives, one of my favorite fixed blade knives. So there's really, I don't know if you're feeling this through the camera, my impression about, there's not something that I just don't like about the knife. Everything has been done top of the line. The clip just big enough so that you have enough of a clip for good retention, but not beyond that, so that it wouldn't be a problem in having an unusually large clip protruding out of your pocket. Just a knife that has a pocket clip big enough so as to have good retention in your pocket, big enough for a thicker material in your pants, like the 511 pants or thicker jeans. Way up so as to have a nice deep carry. It's going to be going right there, and this is the only part it's going to be exposing of the knife when it's in your pocket. Alright, deep carry. Besides that, it can be fixed 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, tip up, tip down, left, right. For us to open, you have the thumb studs, ambidextrous on both sides, and you also have this flipper so as to just flip it open like that. Now notice this, if you try doing this, if you just try using just flipping it open, you just cannot do that. And that's something that I've read in forums, people in New York having problems with the police, that they just get their knives and, you know, if they're a little bit more loose, they just flip them open. Here it's not going to be happening. It is the exact amount of tension so that open it. If you put a little bit of pressure there in the flipper there, but it's not going to be opening on its own. So it's the exact pressure needed for a very nice, clean opening, but only if you want. And that's exactly what you're looking for in an excellent knife like this one. The liners are outrageously thick, you know, almost twice as thick as some of the other knives I've seen. And notice this. Take a look there. As you open it, and when it engages, it goes just a little bit of a hair exposed there. That's because as you start using this knife and it all starts settling into place a little bit better, it has the slightest little bit of a hair so as to go a little bit further in there. Perfect locking, like a vault. Excellent. I just love it. What's not to like in this knife? I don't know. You guys tell me. The weight? Again, if you're going to be carrying a knife, carry a knife. And this is the case in which the guys in Zero Tolerance said, we're not going to be compromising making any less of a weaker knife because of weight. If someone has a problem with how heavy the knife is, you know, carry something else. Go for a big Torinox. But this is a solid, it's almost as if trying to look and make the most solid possible folding knife, you know, trying to get as close to a fixed blade as possible, and I think that they have achieved that. They've made an extremely solid knife. This is a knife that would be excellent for, of course, the defensive use, tactical use. Yes, it would be shining in that role because of the excellent solid grip that you have here, and the wide blade that is, you know, it is it's kind of impressive. It's going to be penetrating well, it's going to be slashing well, it's going to be creating a wide wound pattern if you ever have to defend your life from someone attacking you. Carry the best possible knife within whatever limitations you have, because you know there's different differences between countries and such. But if you can have something like this, by all means. If you're maybe restricted to 4-inch blades, well, yes, this would be the most solid beast of a 4-inch blade that you could possibly get, and this is what I would be carrying in that case. Just beautiful. Well, for bushcrafting and camping as a general purpose knife, yes, of course. Again, it is extremely solid. The steel is great. It sharpens nicely. 154 cm steel it's an outstanding steel, so it's going to be performing as expected. It's not going to be rusting it anytime soon, thanks to that nice coating that it has. It has a few holes trying to make it a little bit lighter, but without, again, making a few holes in the liner so as to make it a little bit lighter, but without compromising on how solid this beast and beauty of a knife is. Okay, they could cut a little bit of weight by doing those holes. Yeah, they do it, but they're not going to be compromising in how solid it is because of that. If you like something that's a lighter knife, yeah, go for something else. But you know, in my experience, I've carried multi-tools that are heavier than this all day long, 4 years, and I didn't have a problem. So you guys don't tell me that you cannot carry this knife every single day. Don't tell me you cannot carry this knife every single day in your pocket, because it's not true. You're perfectly capable of carrying it, unless you have a problem with extra, you know, sensitivity to weight or something like that. You have this in your pocket and you'll forget about it until you actually need it. And when the day comes that you need your pocket knife, when that day comes, no one ever wished for a smaller gun, less lumens in their flashlight, or a smaller or weaker folding knife. If one day comes when you have to use this thing for defense, you'll be very glad you didn't complain and sissify about how heavy it is. Yeah, absolutely. Again, made in USA, and the warranty, lifetime warranty. Any problem whatsoever, zero tolerance takes care of that. Beyond that, because let's suppose that that's expected, you know, lifetime warranty for a premium top of the line knife. Yes, you would expect that. Besides that, take a look here in the manual. It says, Heinne Haynes Sharpening, your knife comes with free lifetime sharpening. Just send the knife into our 1218 Oregon facility. We'll sharpen it for you and return it to you free of charge. You pay to ship it to us. We pay to ship it back to you. You can sharpen your knife with the Ultra Tech sharpener. These guys will sharpen your knife for the rest of your natural life. Okay, you will just send it to them and they'll send it back razor sharp. How sharp is it as it comes? Well, let's take a look. Yeah, it is razor freaking sharp. You see that? Again, I'm not surprised by any of this. I knew it would be this way, and it actually turned out like expected. Beast of a knife, beautiful in my opinion. And you know, yeah, well, it is expensive. It does cost 136.95 pounds. It is not exactly a cheap knife, but well, you already know what we're talking about here, do you? We're talking about a premium top of the line knife, and that's exactly what you get. Guys, remember the guys from Heinne Haynes, they've been great with me, so you know, if you can just keep that in mind whenever you're buying new stuff. You know, check them out. They have a great website. I'm actually going to be doing a review of their catalog, their 2013 catalog, because you know, it's showing you guys some of the stuff that I've bought from them in the past, some of the things I'm looking forward in the future as well. And yeah, mention that you saw it here at Fairfile as reference. Let's see if we can get maybe a discount in the future, something like that. The more people that get it from them, the better for me and the better for you as well eventually. So that I would really appreciate that kind of support. So folks, thanks a lot for watching the video. Hope you subscribe. There's more stuff coming up as always. Take care. Have a great day. See you on our next video.